Hello there everyone, this is Mark 3 and welcome back to my little chill time in Space Age with Factorio, where I've done as I was planning to do last time. I have actually got all those blueprints I laid out and I have turned them into physical, tangible objects. Objects that are no longer imaginary, they are real, very real. And they cost a bunch of materials, which is why I knew I'd need to spend some time on it. To the point where, well, things like this are already starting to happen a bit. And, oh, I missed a bit. You saw nothing? No, you did see something. Yes. Full disclosure, I have actually had to wander out and stamp out a couple of bases that expanded inside my pollution area effects. And I slightly regret my world settings because I think because I increased the maximum size of expansion groups from the writers, the attack waves have actually been enlarged to the point where, well, you saw over the other side of the base some walls and a couple of gun turrets. They couldn't even handle the initial waves, really. So I had to go out and do something about it before they chewed up too much equipment. They already got through and got some of the mines down, tore some turrets apart, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. What we're going to do today is we are going to get laid out some proper factory work, some proper production work. We've already got a sizable looking belt with things that I think we'll need to move around in good amounts. 4 belts of iron, 2 belts of copper, 2 belts of steel, belt of stone, a belt of stone brick, and a belt of coal. All set up nice and neat and ready for me to start plugging stuff into, which I do need to do because, well, I wanted to save actual industrial development for this episode, but the biters were forcing the hand a little bit. So I have been preparing. I've got a pump jack, I've got 20 assembly machine level 2s, because we have the tech for that one now, some drills, and a small collection of poles and inserters and things. Well, that said, I will say, all of this handcrafted. Every single last piece. It is all deluxe, bespoke, custom fitted to the production lines, and it's all going to get torn out eventually because this is all quote-unquote temporary. So, yeah, there we go. Sure. Though, I do quite like these things here. I don't know if this is the official thing. I mean, I didn't base it on anything, but this is what I've done to, like, make splitting feed lines into the actual belts for my main bus, and they work fairly well, I think. They certainly look distinctive enough. I don't think I've seen them before. Yeah, that's not too bad, not too bad. I'm just also trying to make sure I've got space around the place as well. Anyway, we do have things to be doing. As you can see, the biters are clustering around the area, so I do need to wander out and try and do something about some of this. This base in particular, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks like 5 actual spawners over there. 1 spawner there, 4 spawners there. I wouldn't be surprised if I was getting some more nosy neighbours before too long. Right, continue on. Piercing ammo, paying to craft by hand. I want to craft that automatically, and I also want to get that production online sooner rather than later, just so I can actually get that ticking over to feed into eventual turret defensive rings. So let's get started with that. Hopefully while I read some comments, so I was glancing back and forth between the things, but yeah. First things first, I suppose. What was it? It was 3 seconds versus 1 second. So 3 piercing to 1 regular, and that's just iron, and that is ammo plus. Yeah, okay, got it. I won't be looking back and forth. It's just, yeah, need to plan this stuff. Let's get started. Operation Total Tree Toppling Part 2. I am tired of this nest of spies sitting next to my base. Yes. Well, actually, I want to clear the space because my bus is starting to go through this area, and if I want to plug in some more materials, I need to remove it. So yeah, these trees need to go. Mind you, that is part of the reason why I've got an override on my power plant. If I head up to the power plant real quickly. Yep. So yeah, priority inserter. I think I mentioned this last time, but it's like any spare burnables I can just chuck in there. It'll get fed through as a priority into the furnaces, and that'll sort itself out. Anyway, I figured this will also be a good time to do some comments as well, while I'm just removing these insidious invaders. All trees must be burnt to the ground. Yes. We do. So comments. It's Happy Dan. It's been a hot minute since I had a comment from you. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Said, interesting. I will go ahead and say good stuff now. Good to see you out and about, Iron. Now to settle in and watch. Yes, I am out and about. I will be taming these worlds, kind of. These worlds will probably kick my butt a couple of times as well, to be fair, but yeah. Yeah. It's been quite a while since we played 7 Days Time multiplayer together, and that's the only thing we really did much of together as well, now that I think about it. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. Next comment is from Happy Heifer. As I start just... There we go. Just trying to think, do I want to set anything special on this one here? Probably not. I think often a pairing of red and green circuits is good to have. So these two paired together, being green and red circuit, might be a good one to do. Though, of course, I'm not at red circuit yet. I'm not anywhere near red circuit yet. No, not still. So, Happy Afer. 3 parts to comment this one. It's quite a bit here. So, I'll give you the first part for the moment, as I try and figure out where the heck I'm going. Yes. So you finally decided to give it in on the space age hype as well? Great. Yeah, I picked it up, then I put it off and didn't play it for a bit, and then it's like, yeah, got back to it. Let you see these things here before I talk about them. It sounds like you've already finished a playthrough, or at least got to the other planets. In that case, what order do you plan on doing the planets? Well, honestly, I've only visited 2 of the initial 3, and even then, not in any deep way, really. So I've not done a full playthrough. I thought I mentioned that in the last episode, but no, I'm not so sure. But no, I've reached the planets. I went there in a bodged spaceship. It went very poorly. And then I went to the second planet in a better spaceship, which, as it turned out, was an easier planet to get to. But yeah, that was part of what convinced me in the end that I wanted to actually start redoing things. So yeah, I'm probably going to head to Fulgoria first again, just because, well, I went there first last time to get my grubby little mitts on recycling technology, which I still think is a very good one to have. Then, of course, the other planet I've actually been to is Vulcanus, which is the heavy metal forging stuff. Big industrial forges, pools of molten metal, and all that good stuff over there. Also, massive worms that eat your base. Yeah, I've not actually properly fought one of those, but it's like, yeah. I did get the achievement Get Off My Lawn, which is like agitate one of those worms by building in their territory. So it's like, it was only a puny little radar station, but they just made a beeline to it and blew it up. So yeah, moving on. That does actually play into your next part of the comment, which I've partially answered already in that, which is, you said, I am especially curious how you handle Gleba, the 3rd of the initial worlds, and the one that I have not actually set foot on. Yeah. I hate that planet and how even a single mistake will stop the entire base, sometimes after hours of working perfectly fine. Fulgoria has the same kind of issue. Actually, I had to go to Fulgoria several times to manually restart the recycling systems because I did such a poor job of the recycling systems. So, yeah. Excuse me. Then travel and recycling. Did you know, by the way, you can command construction bots to remove an item from storage and then dump it into a general logistics storage? Yeah, that's the thing. That's helped me when I figured that one out, but yeah. I'm still waiting for a mod that lets you adjust the spoil time of items. Nutrients spoil way too fast for my taste. There's one to simply turn it off, but I still want to experience the game mostly as intended. I also dislike how the agricultural science packs can't be refreshed with the recycling loop. Those are the only science packs I can't really mass produce with mods, since they just spoil before I can use them. Ooh. The science packs can spoil? I knew spoilage was a thing, but I didn't know the science packs. Well, I guess they are agricultural science packs, but if they can spoil, and there's space flight times, I don't think we get refrigerators, do we? I mean, I've not heard of that. That would be nice if we could use the ice to refrigerate and keep things preserved for a bit longer. That said, the only reason I know about spoilage is because I spotted that there is a filter setting which allows you to specify if a inserter will handle something that is spoiled or not. So maybe that's what you need to have set up from the word go there, but I've not been there. I've not been there. Anyway, I'll continue with the rest of your comments after this, because we've got here a cheap and cheerful production for armor-piercing ammunition. All well and good. It will get things produced enough basic, then it gets enough armored. It feeds iron, steel, and copper, which is all we need for these guys. And then up here is a little tangle, which there'll be a logistics receiving chest here, like a passive storage set to a filter only accept these guys, because, well, I'm doing that because I know for a fact I will wind up having to delete and relay belts, which will mean that my logistics system gets floods of extra ammunition dumping into it. Every once in a blue moon, but it does happen. But with this in place, this will allow me to actually tell it I want it sent here, and then get it to actually deploy that. Also, I have to decide where I want to. I think I want to have a pathway running along the top here. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I make 4. I just do, and then I'll leave a bit of space here because, you know, space. I need to leave space to move around, and there's also the fact that my splitters down there get in the way a bit too. So this one will live, I guess, here. All to the good. Bop, you can go away now. Okay, next one. It's oh so glorious, oh so revolutionary. You've never seen anything like this before, except for the many times that you have on other channels and bases and things. This is just the basic setup for producing green circuits. The only fancy thing that's slightly convoluted is I've got iron and copper feed belts together on either end of it, and then I'm feeding into the middle here. If I wanted to, I could have this like 1 block wider, have a feed of iron in the middle to feed into these, and then just have copper along the outside. I'd have to use less tunnels to do that, and honestly that would probably work out better, but I like to bodge things together with lots of tunnels, so what can you do? You can't stop me, that's for sure. Yes, my plans for inefficient factories will rule the day. No, maybe not. Let's put a little gap there and pop you there. And then this is, of course, also tileable with the exception of the load balancer at the base there. In fact, I'm going to move you up slightly. This, by the way, does actually play into something that Happy Aether was asking about before, which is I plan to, well, actually no, this is unrelated, but I plan to actually move the balancer down a little bit in this one later when we get something a bit deeper into the DLC unlocked, but not right now. For now, that will do. And then that will go there. I should probably set tunnels for these as well. Ugh. Anyway, I should probably let's continue with this part of the thing actually. So, realizing I've put things slightly in the wrong place. Yes. So that's part. Watching other people play these kind of factory builders always makes me wonder why and how they come up with certain builds. In your case, I wonder why you stuck to burner mines for so long when the electric versions are already usable. In my defense, that's force of habit. I've often enjoyed just making burner-based production lines and getting a solid burner economy up before I make the full leap to electric, and that's just like, kind of a force of habit in general, I think. Often because it's like I want to have more resources going earlier on, and then I go ahead and get everything else set up. Yeah, you can go there. Yep, and this is a super duper complex, rare blueprint. It makes iron cogs. Ah, so revolutionary. Yes. Just feed. Actually, no. I should just be building this, shouldn't I? Feed goes to there. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Okay, so and continuing on with that part of the comment, though. In case I wonder why it burns so long or usable, why you place your boiler turbine setup like that when you could save on pipes and power poles? Ish. There's an argument either way, actually. I will actually hop up there in a second to explain it. But in terms of total space used for the power plant, this is actually more effective. Yeah, it means there's a couple more power poles have been used. Oh, but you also got to remember I'm on basic small electrics too. But having a gap, like nudging the stacks a little bit deeper, means I've taken 3 blocks of space to insert a power pole. If I had a gap to the sides, that would be placing 5 blocks of space to put in a power pole. So having the engines back to back would actually overall take more tileage up than this configuration did for these. And then having boilers off the side of this, yes, I could have bolted them straight onto the front of these guys, and then have another stack along the other side if I wanted to do it, and just leave it like that, and then have a smaller net thing. But I kind of wanted to have a big dedicated block for each thing, just because looks cool and stuff. So yeah, that's why I did it like this, with like big dedicated areas, just like this, all of my boilers over here, all of my furnaces, all of my steam engines over here, just like, you know, make it look nice. And then that over there, as I mentioned, that just like makes sure this entire thing's on a separate grid and powers just the feeders to keep the boilers going. And yes, I've not built them down because I don't need them yet. I've got way more power than I need as is. Continuing on this. Honestly, saving on pipes. Yes, I could have saved on some pipes if I had compacted things normally, but again, rule of cool. That's kind of why I built it like that. Oh, good. Steel furnaces are ready to go. Okay. Continuing onwards. I should actually get a wall production up here as well. Anyway, keep going. Yes, I could just pull another feed off here, and then avoid that. But unneeded complications, and if I did that, I'd use a tunnel there instead of a tunnel there, and it's just like I would need sort of the same number of tunnels. So that's what matters, of course. How many tunnels you put into a build is what determines its coolness factor. And then this is just like a hodgepodge of yeah, different things. Oops. Okay, continuing. So on. But not everyone has the urge to find the most compact or perfect setups. This is very true. Very true. Perfection is not the name of the game, especially when you've got limited resources. Bootstrapping the situation is actually generally better. I will build a blue because I want a blue, and I want it to go there. I'll put down this wooden chest for now. That's all I need. And this is just so that I can get my hands on some of this stuff when I want it. And I'll just put a power pole there, I guess. And I just... Well, actually the main grid's right there. I don't need that. But it's made out of cheap poles, though. Let's put one there. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Not everyone's able to make perfect setups. When good enough works just fine. Especially temporary setups for very early game. Yeah. Honestly, most of my production to get different buildings, which I'll throw together in a little bit to get that going, that will be very much along the lines of a temporary, well, a less than perfect thing. because it will be set up just to make the things, not with any real speed, but it will produce a supply over time, and that's kind of what I want to have going on in terms of my building supplies. There will be a bunch of the things available when I need them, and that's all I really want. Pop that there. There we go. Yep. And by the way, load balancers, Little Kari has kind of been perplexed, I think is probably the appropriate word, with how I like to put little load balance on everything, especially like right at the outputs of certain resource lines and things. I do it just because I like to make sure that even though it should be load balancing like production wise, it's like if there's a sudden surge in demand down the line and the entire belt is draining, it should be able to try and keep up with like any reserves it's got further up in the pipeline. At least that's my quote unquote theory on it. So that's why I try and do it that way. Okay, and steel is down. It's all coming down this way. Let's put you here. And balance you in. And you there, balance you in there. That's just so I can split the load across it, so I don't wind up depleting like one row or anything like that. I would like to do that here as well, but I'm actually really close to this feed line. So I might as well do it like that. And then probably not go any further because... Oh no, there is just enough space here to get it into this section. I put one there. But it's not super important, honestly. Also, I need 4 reds. Yeah, I'm only getting half of it online right now because I just want to get the production going. And yes, I know, blue inserters would be so much better at this. But that's another thing I'm planning to get up really shortly, and actually I forgot to do immediately, is... pop out there we go. Is get it going like on all cylinders. Like, I want to insert production and stop using yellows as soon as possible. And manually crafting inserters is a pain, but it's gotta keep going, gotta keep going. Gotta go faster. Well, probably not. Take all that out there. Yes. How's my science thing going? Up you ground to a halt. Here, have a bit more material. You're full on that. You are out of metal? Yeah. These are all Mark 2s, by the way. You probably tell that because they're blue. Okay, continue. Comment. Where was I? That's what problem with me, like bouncing back and forth to the comment. It's like I lose track slightly. I think you're also the only player YouTube I've seen that's not permanently using alt mode. Switching between modes so often is a rare sight. This is... well, you saw me doing it just there, actually. That's a symptom of early game. Like, I have finite resources. I don't have, like, construction bots or things like that. So, I am actually doing things by hand a lot. But, because I want to nudge and perfect the designs, that's why I'm doing... like getting the blueprints down, and then I'm going back in where I want to and starting to lay it properly by hand, because that's where I want it, that's where it's going to be, and that's where I'm going to leave it until such time as I change my mind. So that's when I actually start to lay it in properly. There we go. Just need a little bit of power. Yep. And all to the good. Though that said, the last part of your comment does actually play into this as well. There we go. You know what? I didn't actually configure it properly for this, but I will. Just so I don't have to keep handcrafting, honestly. Let's make another wooden box. By the way, I'm using wooden boxes so that I can just junk them later without caring about them. I can just throw them into the fuel system for my steam power plant, and that'll sort itself out. I should give me a blue one. Yeah. I'll do it. So that said, your power link is that one. There, sorted. Okay. So, moving on. as I immediately get very distracted. Yep. So yeah, this switching, once I get actual bot logistics going, I will be mostly in alt mode because then I can just control the bots to do what I'm wanting them to do. That was completely the wrong line there. Get rid of that. But right now in the early game, especially without things to support it, like mods and things, it's like, of course I'm going to be laying a bunch of stuff by hand, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to plan out what I'm doing. And that's where a lot of the map mode and blueprinting mode comes in. Kick you in there. And that should do it. Slight lags back there. I'm guessing a biter nest just went down. But this should see... Yeah, there's the iron going in. There's the copper going in. And we have some production going for circuits. Huzzah! Though this will probably get really quickly built out just to make sure it's running properly. Make some more of both of those because I do want them. The sooner I get belt automated and producing is actually probably going to be a very good thing to do. And yes, I do know splitters can cause... they are one of the load sources for this game, but at the same time it's like they're very handy to do. So I'm a great believer in splitters, honestly. Despite some of my botched attempts to... Well, actually no. Priority merging just using belts is something I do fairly often as well if I want to do it like that, but it's like more compact designs. I do now rely on splitters using the output and input priority system just to keep it going. So, last part of your comments. I was mentioning the nanobot mod. Yes, indeed I was. I was mentioning I was missing it because I was missing it, and I am missing it. Mainly the termite section, honestly. Use that mod when you use a balance game, but eventually just set back on the Builder Bot Start mod. Gives you a power armor equipped with everything you need for bots, plus 1 stack of construction bots and options for pre-research bot speed up to level 4. That sounds... Yeah, that doesn't quite sound like the game... slightly a more powerful start than I would have preferred to have, if I'm going to be honest. Lil Kari never actually pointed out that mod for me either, because I think because we were both happy with the nanobot mod, in fact. There we go. We have ourselves production going of the cogs. Though actually I also want to have a storage of them too. Because yes, I will be needing a bunch of cogs going forward. Give me 3 stacks of them. And you can be limited to 3 stacks as well. Yeah, that should be fine. We got some production going though. Slightly overpowered for early game. Yeah, that was what I was just commenting on. But biters were never a challenge factor for my heavily modded playthroughs, and I very much prefer to not hand build everything when I don't have to. I did mention last time, the trial game I was doing of Spaced Out, I reached, I got the Lazy Bastard achievement, which was basically do everything with machines, so it was actually slightly jarring to come back into this one and be handcrafting so much stuff. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, yeah, this is probably how it should be. Okay, so I was talking about having. Actually, no, I'll just have it on. I'll just have circuits be on the next one down, and then cogs will be feeding to here. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Okay. Now, there was a reason I actually did this in this order, and I got circuits up first, and that's because things like the inserter production, all the individual. Actually, I don't want to be doing that one just yet because I don't. Well, actually, I do know what's going to be on it. I can always rotate. I can turn it around later. It's fine. things like the inserter production, the building production, all that stuff, I need... It's because I'm not really doing anything special to it, having cog production and having circuit production are good things. And so I wanted to make sure that I got these things up first, and that's why I kind of focused on this. But yeah, that is also it for Happy Hafer's comment. So yeah, apologies. You kind of stuck with me through a bit more of the building than you did last time around, because I do take my time answering comments. Oh, I'm out of factories. Ooh. I used up more factories than I thought. I've got the materials. But I will not be handcrafting them for too much longer. Soon I will be free. Maybe. Maybe. Probably not, though. I figured I might as well show this bit. I mean, this is what I tend to do with the alt mode, even after I've got bots and things, where I'm trying to figure out a layout I want to do. I'll just go somewhere where my bots don't have construction access, plan something, and then I'll bring it back into where I want it and let the bots build it. Same thing I was doing like before, like having the blueprints off to the side. Anyway, this is just like basic inserter production. It will produce all kinds of inserters I currently have access to, plus a additional one here, which will be responsible for inserters. This one, responsible for bulk inserters when they get there. That will require red chip tech, which is why there's an additional belt. Well, actually, no, there is an additional feed line here. So this is set for 4 inputs right now. 3 of them are needed for these 3. Then, of course, we need the gears and the red chips coming in over there, which will go into number 4. And that's all we needed. I know there is another thing after. I noticed in the research trees quite some time ago, like back in the test game even, there's another one, but it also requires some different materials, so it's like I didn't really want to plan this early game thing around it. It is here. Carbon fiber and jelly and processing units and bulk inserters. That's like 3 extra things. That's another 2 belts that need to be going, and it might be pulling from the bus, so it might be better just to do this one on the end of this with logistics system at the end, you know. Anyway, when I'm laying something down and I want to actually get a decent production ratio, I start by putting down like I put down a factory. I work out. I put down a factory to get what per second, and then it's like I need the inputs per second on there. So there's 1 copper gear per second. Well, this guy is actually producing 2 copper gears per second, and so for a faster research, doubled. So we've got 10. You know, this is... Everyone does something like this for their first thing. This one actually has a slight inefficiency in it. This is the ratio to get all 12 of these guys firing, with the exception of transport belts, which is 2 every half second. So technically, if I add in another assembler making regular inserters and the cog machine to feed it, and yes, I'm running these guys just off plates inputs. I could run 24 of these guys, which would be 4 science per second, which is actually, well, entirely doable. Just have to double this one, just double things up further on as we go. But honestly, don't need it right now, so just going to go ahead with that. Then this is just me showing me working out ratios and things. So to get 1 per second production on military science packs, 1 grenade, 1 piercing ammo, 2 walls. 1 grenade per second is 8 of these guys, 3 of these guys fed by 1 of these guys, and then 1 of these guys actually producing 2 per second, which is what we need for the science packs. But there's a kicker here. Science packs for military produce in pairs, so 2. So I can cut this in half to match the output rate of these guys of 2 per second. Sorry, yeah, 2 per second. Actually, no, this is exactly what I need. Never mind. I was so focused on the double thing, I lost the forest for the trees. 2 per second is exactly what I want, actually. So this is exactly the factory set I will need to bodged together into a production chain to work for the rest of it. Also, rather than just trying to remember where the path is, I've started to actually lay down brick, which is the first pathing material. Actually, can we lay with stone? I don't think we can. No. Brick is the first material we can actually make a path out of, and we get a small movement boost on it, of course. Not much, but it is there. But it also lets me see where the path is, which is quite handy to have. As a small aside, by the way, I'm making these current things I'm working around 4 big, entirely because I am trying to prepare for what I have running around. So this is big enough to comfortably drive a tank down or a car down without any real risk of hitting stuff. It was just a personal path, then like 1 or 2 is absolutely fine. But vehicles, a little space is always kind of handy to have. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I will, however, need to go out and start doing some pest control soon. There's a base creeping very close up there. Some up there, some down there. I need to start dealing with some of these, honestly. And finding a bit more terrain so I can start planning where to put defences would also be a really good idea too. But that's why I'm carrying 5 turrets, a bunch of spare magazines to throw in them. And then I can just go out and do some extermination. But I want to get these productions kicking off before I do that. Let's see, I think you are a good contender to go into this area over here, actually. Yeah. All there. Of course, we've got the merging point, which is a slight issue. Has been for the whole time it's been there, actually. I didn't exactly consider that when I was spreading the merging points around the place. Yeah, I guess over here for the inserter production will be just fine. Okay, plug it in. Plug, plug, plug. Nothing fancy here. We have just got inserter production online, which means I don't need to bother with that anymore. Yeah, you might have noticed in the blueprint there was a random inserter sitting out doing nothing. This is actually intended to be the requester chest, which will pull in any spare yellows, especially when you start upgrading some of these to blues, like I have over here actually on the main production line. Look how well that's doing. Oh, glorious. I'll take some more ammo, please. Thank you. Throw them in here. Fast inserters are going to be much more in demand than red, so this will mean half of the inserters being put into here will come from the stockpile rather than from the produced. So there's not a priority shunt on that. What I could do is reorganize that as a priority system so that automatically any blue inserter production will take from a stockpiled item instead, which would mean taking out this direct factory feed here. Let's actually do that. You know, future-proof. We've got to future-proof. There we go. Now, you feed here, and that'll mean there is some stuff on the belts. Yes, but the idea is that I want to have it on the outside of the belt as we go along. So I can either put it like off to the side, or I can just wedge it in there. And then that'll do the job, and so I just like put... you be going there, please. There we go. So if this is full and waiting, because it will hit that state because it only stores like 2 stacks in each box ready for use. Well, that's not going to store any until I actually research it and get red circuits and all that stuff up there. But this will give me a steady supply of inserters ready to go. So yeah, there. That's it. I have inserter production now. I feel so happy. I am proud of myself. Please, oh gods and there beyond, give me a gold star. I have done a thing. Yeah. Next up, I think, is almost certainly bug hunting. I just want to get research firing before I do that, so a couple more factories to put down yet. Oh, work and no play make I am marked for a very dull boy. Oh yes, oh yes. Okay, right. We need to turn something on, and then I need to go and deal with some of the local bugs because they are kind of nearby, and our pollution cloud is about to expand around a tiny bit. So, what's happened? I have got walls and gates auto manufacturing. Jolly good. I have ammo supply. I'll grab some more of that just for good measure. I have auto production of pylons, and that's all I've set up auto production wise. Everything you're about to see I have crafted by hand. I am an idiot, but I have done that before setting up building creation. Honestly, building creation is not that special. I don't think. It's just like plug some materials in, single machine, 2 machines, that's about it. I don't really try to mass manufacture unless I require it. So yeah, just to let you know that one ahead of time. So, moving on over here, we have ourselves a split and a mini bus heading northwards. Oh, where could this lead? Oh, okay. Mystery. Well, there are some things to set in, so let's go ahead and click. There we go. This is, as you can see, the edge of red science, which, as we established before, is a superior facility. It's very, very nicely done. And also, I've dismantled the little machine part fabrication setup I had up near my crash ship, and installed all those components into the arrays you're about to see as well. So a lot of the science coming down here is just like I had a couple of 100 red science which I put into the end machines just to feed down into it. But that's ticking away, doing red science. Most excellent. Okay, and next set. Fire! Yeah, there we go. This is the set producing green science. This one you also saw in its completed state, at least in blueprint form. But this one should be just fine, apart from the fact I put a blue instead of a red. There we go. Off it goes. I almost brought cogs upon the minibus, but then I realised it's like, hang on, I'm actually locally producing those each time, so iron is all I need. And just make sure I brought up 2 belts of iron instead of 1, just to make sure. But I don't need circuits beyond this point at the moment. So this belt stops here. Moving on upwards. So, next set. Are you ready? Click. There we go. This is now feeding up. Copper and steel belts are ending here. Also, I forgot a piece for the iron belt. There we go. This is why I'm watching it, to make sure that I've actually got things set up properly. So, here's what we wound up with. Massive banks of processors and things, and I have forgotten to place reds. Yep, there we go, that'll do it. And yeah, there are some deficiencies in this setup just here. But, these things will get improve their efficiency a little bit once they get, well, actually no, the single reds are keeping up with these guys. We can research stack size upgrades which will affect all of these inserters, so these things will get more effective a little bit later on, but right now we've got, this one making stone out of stone brick. Whoops. This is why I'm looking over it, this is why I'm checking it, this is why I'm trying to make sure. One moment. As I said, you saw nothing. You saw nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, right, so this has some of the twists in it more indicative of my creation style, which is I tend to botch and faff around a bit with belts and things. So what we've got going on down here, this is a good example of what tends to make its way into my more complex builds. Actually, it's more like a bit more compact. So this one is outputting magazines, but I am getting it onto the left side because this belt is serving dual purpose, carrying the armor-piercing ammunition. Then, to pull it off, I have this belt here, just getting onto here. And then because I want it on the other side of the belt again from where it's now because of the tunnel, it just flips over here, tunnel, carrying the walls, goes past this way. Because up here we have the belt creation, we have got rapid inserter action over on the sides because they require a load of resources each time, like 10 and 5. Admittedly, the slow crafting speed means I could probably get away with just 1, and upgrades later will mean I will get away with just 1, but I built it with 2 just because why not, honestly. And then that goes up into here, where once again we've got some belts serving double duty to try and, which has let me compact the design down slightly by about a row. So walls coming in on the exterior belts, which are also acting as the feeder belts grabbing military science packs. So that is all coming along here. Then we've got some tunnels right at the end where I grab the science packs, but not any walls that make it that far, and then push them in the middle. Of course, each one is low balanced, even these, though they do merge right over here, just to make sure there's pulling evenly from all sides involved. Efficiency, yes. And then we get over here where we've got 3 belts set and ready. Let's let these glorious science packs go along their way. This will look much more impressive when we get red belts, which is actually in my research queue, so that's going to be coming along soon-ish, and then we'll get these belts starting to fly faster and all that stuff. But yeah, small radar outpost here to give me vision coverage of this area, and also to scan a little bit further to our north. Not much, by the way, because we aren't very far north compared to our previous radars, but it's like, yeah, it will work. And then, because there's 12 science packs in the game with this DLC, we have 6 belts. So half a belt per science pack type coming in, and these 3 are digging under and over all the time with a rack of blues to grab off them from the tunnel exits. Then over here we have got 2 blues and a red grabbing off the 3 belts going below them, and then because those are all feeding into one, and then those are feeding into a double stack of 2 a pop. So this is the merger point. To clone this, I just need to copy this and move upwards, or I can clone it in a pair or a trio, I should say. It's yeah, where the pylons are, make it a trio design. So 3 of these, and then I can tie it onto another set, which is over here as well. And yeah, that's this is my science setup, for better or worse. There are many science setups like it, but this abomination science is mine. Whoa, yes. So as I said, now that I've got all that firing away, and the resources being taken to produce science packs and things as well, odds are I'm going to be getting a bit of trouble from pollution clouds, so I just need to go out and do some bug hunting. Yeah, look at all that. There we go. I'll sort that out later. Let's go. I want to go shoot some stuff, and I need to go shoot some stuff because I've just built this stuff, and the last thing I want is for some biters to go nibbling on it. Oh yeah, my mushroom cloud is ballooning a lot further. It's already hitting the base I'm heading straight for. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. That was already lab research speed up. Now we've got solar energy resuming. We've also got natives. Let's see, what are you saying about evolution? Apparently we've got a spitter. I think that was a spitter. Oh no, maybe it was just that worm. Wait, as you can see, the swarms are a bit larger, but I don't need much more than the SMGs to deal with it, so I was going to do like a whole thing in this one, like I'd go out and exterminate all the nearby bugs and stuff like that, but it's like, let's be honest, there's not really much going on. So yeah, this one's a bit more extensive, but again, it's just like, get the initial group out of there. That was a medium. Yeah, that was a medium, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting to actually have mediums kicking off already, but yeah. 83%, so health is already almost double just from base pollution at the moment. But I have let them linger very close to my base, and I do need to try and deal with that a little bit. 21% rate of medium biters. Chance of spitters coming out as well, so yeah, I do have a chance of spitters. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to bring some turrets, though I have crafted up a couple more just to, you know, make sure that I'm completely safe. Also, that is an 8.8 million iron patch over there. There's something more substantial. There is a probably 8 or 9 million coal patch over that way. These nearby bases over here do need my attention, though. But that's why I'm out here in the first place, and it's why I have plentiful ammunition reserves. Actually, with solar power, I don't have accumulators yet. That's locked behind oil production, but I could get some intermittent scouting done out this way as well. That'd probably be a good idea. I must confess, I was never actually planning to do a turret crawl approach to squash some of these. But yeah, it's with medium bites in the mix, and I'm not that confident in rapidly taking them down just yet. So having a defensive line I can fall back on is a very good idea. Oh, this is just a group of worms. Worms, don't really care too much about. There we go. I used to be so afraid of these worms. I really did, but, well, actually, not afraid, like really super cautious whenever I was anywhere near them, but that's not the case anymore. Anyway, I guess I'll show you now what I'm actually setting up, what I'm cooking, which is I am setting out little disposable scouting arrays. These things only work during the daytime, and they are very slow at doing it, but they don't really pollute or anything like that. They're very minimal. Unless the bugs literally trip over them, they won't really get much attention, I don't think. So they're just sitting out towards the edges of my area, getting me some more map data, and that's literally all I've got them doing. And I'm crafting enough materials to make 10 of these outposts. That was my third one I just put down. Also, somewhere in this massive tangle of trees is my oil deposit. Is that it down there? I think this might be it actually down here. Something else we can do, at the very least, is I've got my single pumping jack on me. Oh no, it's night time. Boo! I just want to. Come on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Technology unlocked. Oil processing. That's all I wanted to do. Yeah, these solar-powered radars aren't doing anything pollution-wise, really. They're just keeping an eye on the edges. I didn't realise there was a neck in the line down there. I didn't really pass that until now. But these are the ones I need to hit, because look at the pollution clouds. My base is going to get some nibbles if that carries on for too much longer. And I don't want to let it have that happen to it. So, I must push onwards. Maybe I should just stop researching. But no, we need all the technology and stuff as well. Yeah, look at that. 41% small spitter. These bases were getting kind of aggravated by all the pollution they've been absorbing. That's okay though. That's why I'm out here. This is why I'm clearing all this up. Just to make sure that this won't become a problem. Because it will if I let them keep soaking up the pollution. And yeah, that's why I've got the turret. Those medium biters just charging straight at me. oh, there's a worm there. I didn't realise. Prioritise that. There we go. Oh, and there it is. I was hoping to avoid that. But yeah, it looks like the nearest spider nest got agitated, and so they are nibbling on my production lines. The thing is, my base doesn't really have the defenses set up to deal with it. So, yeah. I just have to get back there and try and fix things. Okay, boys, you've had your fun. Come here. Looks like they went for my pollution. Well, the main source of pollution being the steam engines. They went for that and ran into my cog production line. On the bright side, that thing is actually very overbuilt and is not a big loss overall. So could have been a lot worse. This is also a relatively straightforward build area because, wait, no. This is a super deluxe, very complicated, very powerful assembly array. It is, who am I kidding? I do like the graphics they've done for the wreckage though. Look at this stuff. Tangle of pipes and gear and stuff, just wrecked assembler. Maybe that could be a base theme, just like have it wrecked. Get a squashed base and put it back together again. But then again, I'd have to actually build the stuff and then break it. And it would just be for aesthetics, wouldn't it? Just because, you know, I'd actually want to have active production facilities too, so, you know. While it would look nice, it's a shame that these graphics are only really there when stuff gets broken. Okay, and now I just need this side over here, and we're good. Fixed. I think. Yeah, that's it. Sadly, we don't actually have planning tech, so that's not a thing yet. Reports. Here we go. Construction robotics creates ghosts when entities are destroyed, but that is past getting into chemical science, which is what we went and got oil technology for, just so we can actually get started on that. Anyway, tech-wise though, our new facilities are racing very nicely. Yeah, we'll need plastics. Oh, we're within spitting distance of red. Except, pardon that, we don't have any chemicals. That's a slight problem. Sulfur, yeah, sure. I need all of this. I need, especially, yeah, give me the train stuff, please. I'll need that moving forward. There we go. And now I need to stop the local natives from getting angry at me for researching all this stuff, because that's where the pollution count is coming from. Okay, I think these are the culprits. These are the varmints that came and attacked me without all due warning. And no, I don't really believe in going and killing the base with the turrets. Honestly, it's I prefer to use my own gun for that and have the gun turrets cover me from incoming biters, because they can react a lot faster to incoming biters than I can. There we go. Now I just wander closer and let's pick off these worms first. Oops, no, leave me alone. That's what the turrets are for, thank you. If you're going to be like that, I'm going to just pick off the nearest bases to reduce the enemy inflow. It's all the same to you. Look at that, 32% median biter rate for these guys. I think that was mostly small biters that came after me though. But yeah. Nope. Okay, the worms are not letting me play. I will deal with you guys. There we go. And let's see, until you get to the bigger worm types, they're actually kind of squishy to take out once you've got AP ammo. If it was on regular ammo, they'd be putting a bit more resistance, but it's like, not just yet. Anyway, I think this is the base that attacks me. It is certainly the most aggressively within the pollution cloud. You can see the scanning is taking place around my borders, which is nice. Though I still have supplies to put down 5 more such radar outposts. I do kind of want to expand in a westward direction as well, because this is where like a lot of the coal and bigger open areas are, so it's slightly more important to me. I don't know why I was about to put down a radar when I actually want turrets. There we go. 3 worms. I didn't care that much. Though do note that I did wind up walking into and getting hit by the goo a fair bit. I'm not the best at dodging that stuff, so, you know. Oh, I immediately step in, so of course. Kind of proves my point there, doesn't it? Anyway, that was that. With that biotic nest evicted, I think that's it for the southeasterly direction. There are the expanding pollution cloud, because this area's not really got much forest in it. It's travelling, and so this base here needs to be dealt with, and so does this one up here. These two could probably do with some attention as well, but yeah, that's probably going to be about it for now. I'll hit those off screen, because we are kind of at the point where I'm done with the episode for the day. Well, I'm definitely over an hour on time. I spent a big chunk of my free time today on this, so yeah, we're all good, I think. Oops. But then I knew Factorio would be a slow burner when I chose to start recording it, so I can't complain about that one, really, can I? Well, I can, but, you know. Should I put down a... I kind of want to research this entire area, so let's put down... Let's double it up. Give me 2 radars out here. There we go. That should help to search this general area. And then I have 3 more. I'll probably put another double north of this in here, and then I've put 1 in this coastline up here. And then that'll be my searching radars done. Though we can also see we've got all that for a base up there. And that base will probably expand towards us sooner rather than later as well. Wherever this bite is, there's always stuff to do. But yes, until next time though, this has been Animal3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps out me, helps out the channel, giving those virtual headbutts like oh so brave. Just face my gun line. Haha. And I'll catch you all some other time. As I start to pick this base apart, because I'm basically here, so yeah. See you all later. Yeah, spitters are becoming a more regular thing now, aren't they? Oh, just that. That's 63% small spitter on that one. A great day dawns. A new world for the Commonwealth. I mentioned that last time. I said kudos if you recognise where the quote's from. Maybe that was slightly unfair of me. Because, well, it's a game that not really features much on the channel, let's be honest. So, yeah, it's completely random. It was kind of completely random that it came in the first place. Ah, well, yeah. Just random thought before I stopped recording. That base is kind of close by, but not quite there. I'll leave it be for the moment. I'll come visit it when I got a tank, I think.